up, everybody? It's AJ with etrailercom. Today we're going to be checking out this blowout plug from Valterra. Now this one's made out of plastic, and it's going to screw right in here to our city water connection. It's threaded, so we'll go in there nice and easy. And this outside gives you a nice grip. We'll take off our rubber plug, and this is where we're going to hook up our air compressor to. Now what this does is blows out the lines in your rig, because you don't want any standing water in there. So if you're getting ready to winterize, it's a good idea to do this. That way you get all the water out of there. You can put antifreeze in there for the winter. Or it's good to do just after every trip. I mean, you don't want any water just sitting in your pipes. If your pipes go down and dip, that's where the water's going to stay, is in that dip. And it only takes a couple days for it to get stagnant, and in a week you get some algae buildup, and you don't want that in your drinking water, or you don't want to shower in that or anything. So it's a good idea to blow out your lines. Before you start running air through your lines, there's a couple steps you have to go through to make sure your rig is ready to do that. We're going to walk through that together and go step by step on what you need to do. First step is going to go ahead and find your fresh water tank lever here. Ours is located down there. I'm going to pull this handle and let as much water out as we can. That way there's less in the lines. Just going to go pull this and just watch it drain. That's letting most of the water out. That way when we hook up the compressor, we'll just blow out a little bit of the extra water and we'll be good. Our next step is we're going to go ahead and throw the switch to bypass the water heater. Now why we're doing that is we don't want to pump a bunch of water into the water heater, or if you're getting ready to winterize it, you don't want to pump a bunch of antifreeze into your water heater. So flipping that switch bypasses it and we're good to go. Now ours is down here. Here you can see I flipped that switch up now, and so we're good to move on to the next step. Now we're going to open our valves, because if we're going to pump a bunch of air in through the lines, we don't want to blow up the lines if there's nowhere for the air to go. So we're going to start with the sink. You're probably going to get some water coming out. We'll let that drain. You can see it's already slowing down. And we're going to go through one by one and go through all the valves. So we're going to do the sink in here, sink in the bathroom, we're going to turn on the shower, and even flush the toilet. And with the hot and cold, you go ahead and throw the other one too. Just let all the water out of both lines. Another thing to do, just to be safe before we put air through the lines, is go ahead and step down on the pedal of our toilet here. That way it would release anything else in there before we add air. Now there's two different approaches for this. You can open up all the valves at once and blow out the lines. We're going to do them one by one. So remember, the sink is open. Now we can attach our compressor, which I went ahead and lower the PSIs to 30. That way there's not too much air going there. We're not going to blow up any lines or anything like that. We want to be safe and careful for that too. I'm actually surprised about how much water is still coming out and that were left over in the lines. We already pulled the tank, drained it all the way down. This just shows you don't want this water just sitting there in your lines. We already went back and closed the valves in our kitchen sink. Now we're going to come here to the bathroom sink and open these up. Looks like not a lot is coming out this time. We got most of it in the kitchen. Next up is the shower. Same as before. Just open up both these valves all the way. And let's see what happens. With the lines all blown out, I'm just going to come back to our fresh water tank and close the valve. And it's that easy to get your lines cleared out. That's what I recommend doing anytime you take a long trip. You come home, you might as well use it. If you're going to get this fitting, it fits in there and threads nice. There was no air leaking at all. I didn't hear anything while I was using it, so you know it's going to hold up. The only thing I have against it is it's just made out of plastic. I think about the hose savers I have for my fresh water hoses, and they're made out of brass, because there's also plastic ones of those, but I'm worried that I'm going to drop it, it's going to crack or break, or plastic is just going to wear down a lot quicker than brass. Valterra offers a couple different options for these blowout plugs. I'm going to show you them here. This one is a combination of plastic and brass. You can see it's got the brass fitting there, but this part's still made out of plastic. Still nice seal connection, no problems, no air leakage. The cap's a little bit different on this one too. It's more like a bicycle tire or the tire on your cars. Just twist on there, nice and tight. And then they also offer an all brass option. Now this is the one I would go with just because I know it's going to hold up. I can drop it. It's not going to bother it at all. It's got the brass fitting just like the other one, but the whole part you screw in itself, the plug, is made out of brass. So again, this gives me more confidence it's going to last way longer. But I think that does it for a look at these blowout plugs from Valterra. I hope this helped.